and passion through sports, while also strengthening their future through education. To learn more about it and how you can help foster a child in your community, visit tickettodream.org.
Joy Taylor joining me today. It's the Herd. Doug Gottlieb's around the corner. I always feel like you have to be careful what you wish for. I've been saying this for years about March Madness. Everybody's always like, I'm rooting for the upset. I don't want Kentucky to win. I want Kansas and Duke to lose. Oh, good. So you want VCU and Butler in the Final Four. We had that once. Nobody watched. I hear this all the time in baseball. Guys root for a no-hitter. Oh, really? Just what baseball needs. Fewer base runners, less hits, less action. Yeah, nothing like baseball being even less fascinating. I hear this all the time about renters who want to buy a house. Be careful what you wish for. Honey, the sink is backed up is no longer somebody else's problem. Movies on demand. I want things on my terms. Really? I've got 13 streaming services now, 142 passwords. I have files in a dresser drawer of passwords. Can't Hulu just buy everybody and I can go to them? So you're telling me you're all rooting against the dynasty, Golden State. You sure about that? You want the Houston Rockets to be the team of record in the NBA. Are you sure about that? A soccer team of floppers. James Harden should change his name to Floppy McFlopster. International soccer teams watch the Rockets and say, enough already. This is a team built on iso ball, free throws, and flopping. If the Houston Rockets were a sound, this is what they would be. That's what you're looking for. That's what you want. Houston shot 50 triples last night. In the series, they've already shot 55 more than Golden State, who I thought invented that style of play. I mean, not all dynasties and champions are fascinating. Michael Jordan's Bulls were fascinating. Showtime Lakers were fascinating. Tim Duncan Spurs, not that fascinating. I do not want I like Daryl Morey. I love Chris Paul. I've come to terms with what James Harden is. But you all want the Warriors to sit and watch the finals. Okay, remember, if the Rockets were a sound, we all know what the sound would be. Good luck with that. Here's Joy with the news.
No. Herd on the news. This is the Herdline News.
So after Monty Williams decided to be the next coach of the Suns, Ty Lue has emerged as the frontrunner to take the Lakers gig. And if Lue is hired, he'd obviously be reunited with LeBron. And according to Frank Isola, LeBron and Lue are already thinking beyond the hire. The reports, this is according to Frank Isola, the reports of Lue wanting to add his former colleague in Boston, Tom Thibodeau, to his coaching staff are true. LeBron, through intermediaries, has let it be known that Thibodeau would be a huge asset to have on the bench. LeBron's close associates were gauging Thibodeau's interest in becoming a top assistant 2 weeks ago. It is in the best interest of the Lakers to listen to LeBron, and it is in LeBron's best interest to make sure his voice is heard. So LeBron is reportedly still involved in some of the bigger team decisions. Obviously, Ty Lue is LeBron's guy, so that's like the first step. Thibodeau is kind of an odd pairing with Ty Lue because Ty Lue's very much a player's coach, and Thibodeau has a reputation of grinding people to their...
Is it possible, though, Joy, that Tibbs is a great 2? He was never built to be a 1. Because in Boston, he was a great 2.
Well, I don't think that Thibodeau's a bad coach.
No.
I just think that his reputation is he lacks a little bit of balance between, personal life and rest and just a reasonable amount of, how long you should work.
Right.
During a work week. So maybe it's a good,
he's a basketball
balance to Ty Lue and, be good cop, bad cop.
But I don't think that's, Belichick's best assistants, Josh McDaniels, who's young and brash and cocky, and, Belichick's old and surly and a defensive guy. I think sometimes realizing what you're not and hiring what you're not it's like couples. If my wife can literally go under the hood of a car and fix anything, and I struggle making a salad. Like she is the perfect I think Tibbs...
Yeah, you should get someone who compliments you.
Yeah, I think Tibbs compliments Ty Lue. I think it's a pretty good choice.
Yeah, it seems like it's a good choice because it's what LeBron wants, and you should be putting all of your effort into putting whatever LeBron needs around him to be successful. I know that Lakers fans don't want to hear that.
But you know what? It's funny. I've pushed back on that notion that give LeBron everything. But over the last 3 weeks, on all the stories I hear about the Lakers, I'm at the point now where I'd rather have LeBron running the show.
A, absolutely. And B, you chose to give LeBron the franchise when you signed him to a 4-year deal. Like, you brought LeBron here. You know what he comes with. Why would you not want to put everything around him that makes him comfortable? Hello, Cleveland won a championship. Cleveland.
Well, but LeBron was in his prime mostly in Cleveland.
Okay, but it wasn't that long ago. Like, you still need to put pieces around LeBron to make him successful. Even if that piece that you get has surpassed LeBron in talent or prime at this point. So Clint Capella played only 21 minutes last night, and the Rockets have been playing significant minutes without a center. So with the Rockets going small, PJ Tucker is the tallest player of that group at 6'6". But Tucker, Harden, Paul, and Gordon have a similar build to them.
Yes.
And the Warriors have had issues moving them around.
Yep.
And haven't been able to take advantage of the lack of rim protection. So here's what Steve Kerr had to say about it.
They got a lot of middle linebackers on that team. They're sturdy, and we look like more like volleyball players, long and lean. We've done this many times before, and we've played all kinds of different teams, and everybody tries to be physical with us, because they should. That's the best way to try to beat us. And so Houston's very physical. They're very good, but I'll go back to it again. We know what we have to do.
By the way, PJ Tucker is really, there's no question, he's a little kryptonite. He's really tough for them to match up with.
Earl and I were talking about this very thing last night. It's even just watching the Rockets, and it's strange because, coming into the series, the whole conversation was about the refs, and you were just talking about, like, the flopping, and I think that's more on James Harden and Chris Paul, because the rest of the Rockets are really not built like that. And this is the formula, like Steve Kerr said, so I don't know why they wouldn't come into this series just playing bully ball.
Well, I think at home you're going to get some of those calls. I always take the Utah Jazz. When the Jazz had that great team that never won, they got the calls at home. They were very chippy, and then they go on the road, and the fans are right on top of the refs in the NBA and college basketball. It's one of those things where you do tend to get the physical call at home and not on the road, and that's why Utah was always great at home, and even as good as they were so-so on the road. I think Houston is built, the only team in this league that is really built to beat Golden State.
Right.
No, not saying they will, but Houston's built to beat them.
Right, and they should continue with this formula, even if it is on the road, because you're not going to out-finesse, you're not going to out-volleyball the Golden State Warriors. And finally, there are no two franchises in the NFL that have differing success in recent years than the Browns and the Patriots. The Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls since 1999. The Browns have made 1 playoff appearance in that time. But Odell made a bold prediction at the Met Gala last night about Baker Mayfield and the Browns' future. He said, I would say he's next, but I feel like he's now. He's Brett Favre. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. I plan on being there for the next 5 years and trying to bring as many championships there as possible, turning the Browns into the new Patriots.
Okay. The Patriots have had 18 straight winning seasons. The Browns have had 11 straight losing seasons. Am I being negative? Can we scale back a little on this?
I don't think that you're being negative. I think that you're being very realistic. Now, we are both excited about watching the Browns this year with Odell and Baker and Jarvis.
That's fun.
It's going to be very interesting. We were excited about them last year. I am no longer actively rooting against the Browns, which I feel like is a personal step in progression and growth as a human, being from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because I could just crush them all the time with very much ease.
And you don't.
Right. I choose not to. Because I am genuinely interested, and I do want this style of play to work because Baker Mayfield is exciting to watch. However, yes, calm down. There's no reputation here. There's just none. You finished in 3rd place in your division last year. Just calm down.
For the record,
there's nothing wrong with aiming high, but appreciate the process. That's what I don't like with the Browns. There's no process here.
I understand that teams that I like, the Patriots and the Colts, are not fascinating television. They're almost boring in their repetition and their accuracy. I can admit the Browns may very well be the best TV product in the league right now. That I will not deny. I told you this last year, and Cleveland will be better this year than last year. They have better players. I watched a ton of Browns football last year. I watched all 16 games. So, dynamic, yes. New England, let's scale back a tad. I'm just a little bit pulled out. Just a tiny bit.
I get what he's saying. You want to aim high, but it's appreciate the process of growth and establishing a culture.
If I have a good hair day, I don't say, you know what, I'm going to be George Clooney for the next 15 years. I just had a good hair day.
Yes, it would be an exaggeration.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herdline.
Last night was one of those great NBA nights. I bring in my friend, the Doug Gottlieb, got a show on Fox Sports Radio right